Good morning. It is such a lovely, cozy fall morning. And this weekend, we're just kind of having a nice little solo weekend because Griffin is on his trip, his groomsman trip or whatever. I don't know what it's called for guys. Got a meal prep tomorrow. Back on the meal prep grind because of our schedule being so out of whack the last month and a half. Doing some DIY stuff for the wedding. I really want to try and make our table numbers myself.
And thank you so much to Cricut for sponsoring today's video so that I can show you all how I'm making some table numbers.
Because believe it or not, I have not found what I wanted online for table numbers. I want velvet table numbers, and I've seen one thing of them online, but they only have very limited colors. So I'm gonna try to just do it myself, and I'm going to be using my Cricut machine for it. I knew that my Cricut would come in handy when it came to wedding related things, so we're gonna give it a shot. It is 9:45. I didn't realize how late it was. I didn't want to come here to get coffee because one, it's completely out of my way, and two, I didn't want to come because I was worried it would take forever if it was busy, and sure enough, it took forever. I was in there for 30 or 40 minutes. Just get this, waiting in line and then waiting on it to be made. And I also ordered a large and I got a regular, but I'm not going to say anything about it because I never can. I went to Slowpokes and grabbed an iced snickerdoodle latte, one of their seasonal items, and it's really, really good. I really like Slowpokes, actual coffee, the way the espresso tastes and everything. I have some Amazon returns that I want to make at Whole Foods, so I'm gonna go drop those off, and I'm gonna run into Michael's. Alabama plays football in an hour though, so I want to get home before then, ideally. Today's vlog is sponsored by Cricut, and like I've said, I've had my Cricut machine for a long time and I've made so many incredible things with it, including the literal collar that my dog, who's walking right here, is wearing. Opportunities are truly endless with what you can create once you invest in a Cricut. They have lots of different machines based on the needs for your creating that you're wanting to do. There's so much holiday decor you can make, handmade gifts, personalized items like dog collars or greeting cards, wedding decor like I'm talking about in this vlog. Y'all know I'm making my table signs, but you could make so many different signs, and you could make wedding gift favors with different logos or sayings. You could do personalized koozies. You could personalize the hangers for your bridesmaid dresses or for your own dress. I'm one of the last people that has time to figure out how to work something and make projects DIY like this. You'll know my free time is very limited. So if I am able to easily use one and integrate it into my day and easily make these projects, I know y'all can too. It's truly so easy and it's not complicated at all. A lot of people tend to shy away from DIY stuff because they just think it's super complicated, but the Cricut machine is literally so easy. You just pick what project you want to do. You can go into Design Space, which is Cricut's app that they have, and really go ahead and set everything up that your Cricut's going to be making. And then once you load in the proper tools and paper or vinyl or whatever it is you're using, literally just press go and the Cricut machine pretty much does all the work for you. And Cricut Design Space is the software that Cricut uses, and it is very user-friendly. There are so many different fonts you can choose from. They have different images that are already pre-made. So if you wanted to make something for the holidays, for example, you could search Halloween, and there's already so many different Halloween designs within the app that you can use, or you can upload an image yourself that you have if you have designed your own thing elsewhere, and then you can just upload it into Design Space for Cricut to use it. And Cricut has all the materials you could possibly need, and they are all very high quality. I've never been disappointed with any of the Cricut products I've used for any of my projects. So if you're looking for a gift to give to somebody, or if you're looking for something to put on your wish list for Christmas, or if you're just wanting to treat yourself right now, I definitely recommend looking into getting a Cricut machine because opportunities are truly endless. And I highly recommend, above all, the Cricut machine bundles. So this basically will come with a machine and then a bunch of the tools and things that you'll need to get started. So instead of kind of asking yourself, what am I gonna need for my first project? The Cricut machine bundles are so great because it kind of just bundles everything for you that you may need for your first project into one price, and there are some great savings in doing that.
So I opened up Design Space and I had just this number one for table number one, and I set it to the basic cut operation, and I kind of just placed it where I wanted on the mat. And I watched another creator share how she did embossing and debossing, and she emphasized the importance of using this offset function. If you're wanting to deboss, you want to do negative 0.05 on the deboss and then 0.05 for emboss. So since we were debossing, I did the negative 0.05 and kind of just made sure everything was lined up. And this part, I just wanted to make sure that for the deboss section and the basic cut, we wanted to kind of put them in the same spot, but not exactly precisely the same spot like you typically would. So for the basic cut, which is actually the first operation we're performing before the debossing, I lined it up on the lines exactly. And then as you can see here with the debossing, I did slightly under that top grid line and slightly to the left of that line. And having that offset just really makes the debossing a lot more defined. So then I did more pressure for the medium cardstock, which is what I was using to cut. And then using the strong grip mat, which I actually recommend using a standard grip if you're using paper. This is just the one I had out. And then I went ahead and loaded that into the Cricut Maker with the fine point blade that does the cutting function and the spot B. I love how the design space just tells you exactly where what needs to go. It makes it so easy. And I let the machine get to work on cutting. And then since we were debossing, we're going to be taking away the number 1. If we were embossing, we would be taking away all that negative space around the number 1. And I meant to do this before I actually did the cutting of the number 1, but I went ahead and cut the number 1 to like the size I wanted it to be for a table sign, and then put it back on the mat. And then we are layering over this velour paper that I have, and I want to try this with other velour paper as well, just to see the difference with different textures. And then I'm using this quick slop blade housing that has a debossing tip on it, so that the quick slop housing just means that you can like change the tips on it, which is really nice. And put that in clamp B like it told me to, and just had the same more pressure. And then I went ahead and let the machine get going on the debossing. So as you can see here, the number 1's on there and it looks so good. I really wanted a subtle look for the table signs. I don't like really obnoxious in your face signage. I'm really impressed with how easy it was to deboss something, and I really want to try embossing too to see how that looks compared to this. And I just layered the velour paper on another sheet of black cardstock to really add some dimension, and it came out so well.
Thank you so much to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. I will leave a link to my maker and the products I used down below. Be sure to check them out, and I promise you it is something that is absolutely worth the investment, especially if you are a DIY bride or you're just really trying to make some projects for yourself, your home, or for friends, for others, for work, whatever it may be. There's something that everybody can make with Cricut. Thank you so much to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. Here's what I wore this morning. I just threw on this little Skims navy blue cotton jersey top. It's super comfy and like perfect for this weather, and really great for layering too if it's colder. And then these garage cargos that I literally love. Yeah, I'm wearing a 3 in these, and then I love the color of them. They're so good for like year round. And then my Adidas Falcons that I've literally had since, gosh, my junior year of college maybe. And then I just have on this little cream Urban Outfitters purse. It's pretty old. I'm gonna turn on the football game and hang out with Ella. Okay, Alabama won, thank God. It was way too close to the game for my liking, but I went and picked up some groceries, and these are just really for the week for meal prep for lunches this week, and then restock of our usual breakfast things. For the meal prep for lunches, I got 2 of these Nor Spanish rice packs. They are really for like just a taco bake that I'm making, and so is this sweet corn, black beans. Those are also for that recipe. And then for tonight's recipe for the soup I'm making, it's like a Carrabba's Copycat Sicilian chicken soup. I have these diced tomatoes and then this pasta that will be going in it. And then I've just got a restock of some granola, the Love Crunch dark chocolate macaroon, and then dark chocolate peanut butter for Griffin. Some of these Siete chili lime chips. Love to snack on those. This, I think we have some of this, but I don't think we have a lot left. So I got more of the Mexican cheese for the meal prep tomorrow. I have 2 packs of chicken, 1 for tonight, 1 for tomorrow. And then some more Greek yogurt because we ran out, strawberries, onion for tonight's recipe, yellow pepper for tonight's recipe. Got a red bell pepper for tonight's, and then yellow bell pepper for tonight's recipe. Some parsley for tonight's recipe, cilantro for tomorrow's, meal prep, and then got some of the Kind frozen bars that y'all know Griff and I are obsessed with. I cannot wait to have one tonight. 2 potatoes for tonight's recipe, baby carrots for tonight's recipe, and then a bunch of lollipops because we are pretty much out of our lollipops and poppies that we've had in our fridge. So then they had the watermelon lime flavor, which I have heard of but have never seen in store or online, so I wanted to try it. I am literally so beat. Like, I don't know why I have no energy. I think because I'm just like not in my normal routine today. That's the downside about being in such a strict routine during the week, is the weekends you feel so off your rocker. I just, you know, didn't get up at the same time, and I only had like a cup of coffee as compared to 100 milligrams of caffeine from a energy drink and coffee. I feel like all of that's just like thrown me off, and had to like drive around town today and then just kind of like playing around with the drafts of the table numbers. I want to go ahead and cook dinner though, but I just got everything all diced up with my amazing little chopper thing. I'll leave it linked, but I just literally did this whole bowl of carrots, onion, and bell peppers. I did the celery, and I did 2 potatoes, and it took me to do all of this, it literally took me like less than 10 minutes, which is insane. Following a recipe, this is like a Sicilian chicken soup. It's kind of like the Carrabba's chicken soup copycat. This recipe makes it with a whole chicken on a pot, or in a pot, and I'm just gonna use my Instant Pot and kind of do it the way the white chicken chili I usually make does it, which pretty much just sauteing the vegetables in the Instant Pot first on the saute setting for a couple minutes, and then adding the chicken and potatoes with the chicken broth and seasonings and everything, and then cooking it on high for like 20 minutes probably. But it's gotten so late though. I need to do dishes too because I haven't done them since Griffin's been gone, honestly. And it's 7 o'clock and we haven't even like really gotten dinner fully started yet, but I'm so excited to just curl up on the couch and read my book because I have not got some good reading time in so long, so I'm planning on finishing Divine Rivals tonight, and I'm so excited. My soup actually ended up being so good. I just got the kitchen cleaned up, and it's literally in this giant like Tupperware container. And there was even still some left after that, after I made my bowl. And it was really good for me having to kind of just like figure some of it out myself. So loved eating that while watching Gilmore Girls. I have wanted to watch Gilmore Girls for so long. My mom always loved it when I was like growing up, I remember. And I was like, I feel like I need like a lighthearted, easy watch to just help me unwind, and it was so nice to just watch that while eating dinner. It's just like heartwarming, and I love the vibes of it for fall. The little town that they're in is just like all the fall vibes. I'm eating my little Kind bar, the best little desserts ever. The peanut butter dark chocolate one, literally to die for. So good. And I'm literally so close to being done with Divine Rivals, and apparently the ending's gonna wreck me, so y'all are about to see how that goes. Are we starting Crown of Midnight after? Because I feel like I need to jump in the Throne of Glass. So I feel like I should wait to read Throne of Glass till winter and just read fall books right now. I don't know, I'm really torn. I wish y'all could answer me in real time. Oh no. My SD card's got thrown out of storage and I just finished this book. No, I did not like that ending. No. I think the next one comes out in like December, but I like have to know what happens now. Not sad, but distraught. Like I'm scared and distraught. Okay, I need to go to bed. On some laundry, and I'm working on meal prep. I'm making the breakfast meal prep first, which is the date bites. I mean, you're supposed to do it in a food processor, but I was originally doing it in a blender when I first started making them. And trust me when I say that just like doesn't work, because we literally broke our blender doing it, because there's like no liquid that really goes into these besides a little bit of vanilla extract. So it can like burn your blender out really easily. So a food processor is necessary. But in my last couple of weeks of using a food processor, I found that one, soaking the dates before you process them, it's important to soften them up to make it easier to blend. So soaking them in just like a bowl of water for like anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. I like to do like 30 minutes if I can. And then blending the dates first on their own, then adding the 3rd cup of oats, blending all that together, and then adding the 6 tablespoons of peanut butter and blending that together. It will get stuck together and not want to blend, but I just like literally grab the whole thing off of the little mini processor. This is just like the cheapest one that you can get on Amazon. I'll leave it linked. And I literally just shake the entire container with the lid on to like get things to move around, and keep doing that until it's blended up into like a dough like this. And then I also put a little bit of vanilla extract and salt in there. And then I'm gonna put some, these are the dark chocolate chips I have right now, so just using these. But I like to let it cool a little bit because it gets really hot from blending together. And it melts the dark chocolate chips when you do that, which is kind of fine, but it gets really messy. So I like to let it sit for a little bit and then fold in the dark chocolate chips. And then for making them into like little balls, I recommend using a ice cream or cookie dough scoop just to get it kind of to stick together, because using a regular spoon, it's a little bit harder to get it to like ball together. Okay, so we've got the date bites prepped. I'm going to stick these in the fridge. This just used to be such an annoying process for me because it was so messy and I felt like everything would stick to my hands, especially if you do the oat bites that are just like oats and peanut butter. Those are so messy and hard to work with, but the date bites really turn into like a dough consistency if you get them blended up well enough, which is why I prefer to make these. And it's also really important to use a creamy peanut butter, like a truly creamy one, because that's what helps it stick together better rather than like a crunchy peanut butter. I just like to get the creamy unsalted peanut butter from Trader Joe's for that. Moving on to the lunch meal prep, I am making the taco bake. I made this a while ago and I can't remember if I vlogged it or not. I know I posted about it on Instagram. I'm doing a taco bake and it's literally so good. It's probably the best reheating thing that we've made. Like the thing that reheats the best out of all of the other recipes we've done. This is from Emerson Lorbach on Instagram. I will leave it linked down below. I just changed it a little bit because I cooked the chicken in a crock pot instead of instant pot instead of a pot on the stove. So I just put my 3 chicken breasts in here with the little cube of tomato bouillon and a little pack of chicken bouillon. And I do the sodium-free chicken bouillon because it just like is way too salty if I do both of those. And I did like part chicken broth and part water, just enough to cover the chicken. And then I'm going to cook it on high pressure for 10 minutes. So I just click pressure cook, and then I put the timer on 10, and then it says high pressure, so I know it's good to go, and it just starts on its own. You don't have to press start or anything. That's something that was like so confusing when I first got my Instant Pot. I was like looking for a go or start button, and there really isn't one. All the hard work is done now. Chicken's shredded, rice is cooked. I'm gonna add everything into a bowl and mix it together, but I think I need a bigger bowl than this. I've got the shredded chicken, a can of drained and rinsed black beans and corn, rice, cup of chicken broth. It calls for 2 cups of cheese. I just do 1 cup of cheese though. Then a cup of picante. I just get some HEB mild picante. A handful of cilantro. It says a ½ teaspoon of cumin, but I honestly just eyeball it. And then we're going to pour all of this in a baking dish, just like a square baking dish. And then I'm gonna spray the pan and it's going to go in the oven at 375 for 25 minutes. And then you can just split it up when you're done, but kind of will look like this as you get it stirred. BB's back and doesn't have a voice. We're eating our Kind bars and we just watched the Eagles unfortunately lose. This was the like first game of the season that I've been able to sit down and watch like beginning to end of basically, and of course it's the one that the Eagles lost. Astros are about to start playing, so we're gonna watch that too. And I'm kind of just trying to get some stuff done on my phone for just planning ahead with content, and I need to get my podcast episode scheduled, so probably gonna work on that while the game's on tonight too. And I think I'm gonna start a new book tonight, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to start. So like I said, I wish I could ask you guys in real time. I just folded our towels on the bed, but we still have a lot of other laundry to fold, probably just like tomorrow. But we are getting ready to go to bed. The Astros are almost done playing, but they're losing right now. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed because I'm gonna be getting up at 6 a.m. to go work out tomorrow. There are so many fall books that I want to read, and I just don't have the time to read everything. So I know if I don't read them now, it's like I probably realistically won't read them until next fall because they're just so fall vibed, and I like to read it during that time. But I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of look into it right now as I go to bed, but I need to do my skincare still and floss and brush my teeth. But thank you all so much for watching this vlog. Be sure to subscribe if you aren't already and turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload. Follow me on my social media link down below. Check out my podcast. It's always linked in the description. It's called In Bloom Podcast, and it's available wherever you listen. And I will see you all in my next video. And definitely be sure to check out Cricut down below as well. And thank you so much again to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. And I will see you all in my next vlog.